Russian collusion, Trump, Russia, possible collusion, Trump, Russian, possible collusion, Russian collusion, Trump, Russia.
The biggest, most widespread establishment conspiracy theory has just been exposed as a total lie. And of course, I'm talking about the Mueller investigations, the allegations that, of course, Donald Trump colluded with Russia to win the presidential election, which again, didn't take a genius to call it out. We've been calling it out for years from the very beginning, but right now we finally have its end. The investigation is over, and simply not one single American was charged, was indicted, or convicted for conspiring with Russia to influence the 2016 elections. Not even a low-level volunteer. The number is 0. There are no sealed indictments on the record, according to law enforcement, and many people are feeling more cheated than, of course, the Fry Festival. As people are memeing this into oblivion and videos are going viral, especially with Rachel Maddow, which we're going to get into a little bit, videos are going viral that Twitter is even censoring. The situation is absolutely insane. And Jason, this feels kind of vindicated. I feel so vindicated by this because it was kind of very, very dangerous. It was very tumultuous, especially after Donald Trump got elected. This whole hysteria started spreading that Trump colluded with Russia. And I'm like, no, look who's he appointing into his administration. Look at the bigger geopolitical picture. Look what's happening in the world. No, it's not true. There's no evidence. We started investigating, looking into this. And anyone who dared question that narrative that Trump colluded with Russia was slandered, was libeled, was defamed. We were in a whole dossier put on by the Washington Post talking about how we were Russian agents for simply questioning their lunacy, which now we're finally vindicated on. They were the ultimate establishment conspiracy theories that wanted war with greater implications of just what people are saying, even treason right now. And again, people like other journalists, like other pundits, like other spokespersons, were being banned for spreading fake news. When will we have any accountability for one of the biggest events of fake news being spread? Of course, a bigger agenda. I think this is very close to what happened with the weapons of mass destruction, just on that same level with how toe-to-toe, line by line, the establishment was reading the talking points and going along with them, even though it was absolutely insane. Now, WikiLeaks just put out a poll on Twitter saying which journalist turned conspiracy theorist profited from Russiagate the most. And, not surprisingly, outstandingly, the votes are in, and it's 83% for, of course, Rachel Maddow. Jason, there's also a very interesting clip going around with Rachel right now. Do you want to intro it so we could go over it? And again, me and Jason haven't watched this clip just so we could give you the reaction as live as we could. Go ahead, Jason.
You know, before we get to the clip, you got to understand, folks, she was probably pretty emotional because she was torn away from her trout fishing vacation. This is a headline. This is a Newsweek headline. Mueller report forces Rachel Maddow to cut trout fishing vacation short, but anchor says, Luke, it's worth it. Listen, this is history. And I'll tell you what, I've only heard the rumors. I saw a very, very short, poor clip of this. This really is going to be a true reaction. We have not watched or analyzed this yet, so folks, here comes the gravy train with biscuit wheels, because we've been telling you for months that this was all bullshiz.
For years.
Thanks for joining us this hour. I will tell you what Chris is referring to is that a couple of hours ago, maybe even less than that, I was standing knee-deep in a trout stream in Tennessee. But now it's Mueller time. And so I'm in a studio in the great state of Tennessee. The trout are basically just as safe as they were when I was flailing away at them ineffectually this afternoon.
It's like psychotic laughter. It's psychotic laughter. You could see in her voice and her tone, she's like, I messed up, guys. And she's trying to laugh it off with the insanity. She's crazy.
This is some crazy talk. This is some crazy talk.
But now it is, listen, this is history. This is a reason to stop fishing and go to work. Our job tonight, as a country, sort of, or at least what everybody in the country is going to be doing tonight, is trying to figure out what it means that the report of special counsel Robert Mueller has finally been submitted. We've heard it said so many times that it was imminent, that it was done. Maybe it was already done and we didn't know about it. Finally, it's happened. In terms of what that means and what Mueller found, we know only the smallest little bits. This is the start of something, apparently, not the end of something. I mean, the logistics of today, at least, we know a little bit about. At 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the staff of the House Judiciary Committee got a call from the Justice Department that somebody would be bringing a letter from the Attorney General. I'm sure they all immediately guessed what that letter was. A Justice Department staffer or messenger of some kind. All we know is that she was wearing a North Face jacket. She brought...
Let me stop it there. This is like it's over. Look at this. Like, she's talking about a North Face jacket. This is a rambling mess. She will not come to grips. Notice what has not been said. There will be no more indictments. There will be no more charges. I didn't hear that come out of her mouth. Did you hear that come out of her mouth?
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't see any legitimate context here, except for that someone had a jacket. Come on, Rachel, let's get to it. Let's go. Let's keep playing this.
In fact, 2 letters to the committee in 2 separate manila envelopes. That was just before 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Our assumption is that there were 2 envelopes and 2 separate letters because that was 1 letter for the Democratic chairman of the committee and 1 for the Republican ranking member of the committee. The chairman of the Judiciary Committee, Democratic Congressman Jerry Nadler, was at his New York office. He was not in D.C., so the committee staff quickly made a digital copy and got the letter to him that way. We know those details thanks to a Judiciary Committee spokesperson laying out that process. We know that is how the House Judiciary Committee was notified this evening that Special Counsel Robert Mueller had completed his investigation. We are assuming that a similar process, or at least a process with the same effect, also unfolded at the Senate Judiciary Committee around the same time today, but we don't have the same kind of readout about that process.
Oh, I just want to stop it here because it's about 10 more seconds.
She's filibustering. She's filibustering.
Filibustering. She hasn't said anything. There's been nothing of substance that's been said here. Well, Jerry Nadler, who wasn't in his regular office, he was in another office, and there was a girl in a North Face outfit. By the way, there were 2 envelopes, 2 manila envelopes. I would assume one was for the Republican, one was for the Democrat. Listen, I was trout fishing. Do you understand? I was knee-deep in trout. And this is a mentally ill person. What are you doing on television if you are so thoroughly invested in a falsehood because of party politics and your effing paycheck, Rachel, that you're even trying to report the quote-unquote news?
Let's get to it, Rachel. Come on, let's bring us the news here. Come on.
And so we know the logistics of how we got the notification that it ended. And obviously right now we have mostly just a ton of questions as to what Mueller's report says, how complete it is, who gets to see it, who gets to decide who gets to see it, and when. But after 2 years of almost entirely just questions about what Mueller is doing, I mean, some answers will start to emerge.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely insanity. She's like an abusive, partner trying to make sure that you don't dump them. There's other footage of her with literal tears in her eyeballs. Not talking about the most important aspects of this. Twitter is even banning people. Twitter right now is banning people for laughing at this video with her tearing up, which is absolute lunacy. I mean, let's play a little bit of that clip on Zero Hedge here. But again, the lunacy doesn't stop here. There's other people like Joy Reid on MSNBC that are now claiming that Robert Mueller is a part of a cover-up. Like, these people have absolutely lost it. Malcolm Nance, again, on CNN, decrying. Why isn't WikiLeaks indicted? Why isn't Julian? What does that even, like, what are you even? This just shows you the disdain that they had to, of course, anti-establishment voices that were actually providing important information, targeting, of course, WikiLeaks, absolutely having this lunacy, but they lied to you. Let's make it clear. They lied to you for 2 years. Day in and day out. They knew they were lying. They were being called out that they were lying, and now they have to face the music. And instead of facing the music, they're talking about trout fishing, all these other confusing dialectics, the sports jackets, and all this other bullcrap. But the reality of the situation is now that this investigation is over, it's being handed over to the Attorney General. The Attorney General will now have unlimited pretty much time. He has a long time to release the information, release the findings of this investigation. But we are hearing from some sources that this new information may even come out tonight. Saturday night, as early as some of the major conclusions from this entire investigation. So how long it will, be until the official details of this report come out? Well, we'll see, but it should be very short. The bigger takeaway, again, Jason, no indictments, no collusion with Russia, no proof of that. They've been literally chasing an MMA fighter, Stormy Daniels, a porn star. They've been following that closely, investigating that, going after, again, big PR manipulators like Roger Stone, Jerome Corsi. But again, no collusion. That's the big takeaway here, Jason. Anything else you want to say?
Well, the other thing that I would like to say is that if you check this out, Corsi says he feels vindicated, and I understand why he does feel vindicated after all. Like, that makes sense. It seems like all these... Listen, they got Manafort because Manafort was a lobbyist and a criminal. Corsi, may have lied, may have done some questionable things, but never on the level of Manafort, right? Roger Stone, yet to be seen. None of it to do with Russia at all. At all. And... the other big thing
Jason, I just sent you a video really quickly. Let's try to load that up. But you're bringing up a very important point here. The people who were charged for basic middle management corruption, white-collar crimes of messing up statements and tax evasion. Is that a surprise that powerful people do that? No, that's what they do all the time. The legal law code is so confusing, convoluted, that, again, all we're getting is mistruths and, again, just a total distraction. Sorry, Jason, I cut you off. I sent you a little clip that I think we should play on Facebook. Anything else you want to say? And can we play that clip?
Yeah, we'll definitely play this clip. There is one other big point that I do want to make. Now, I think this is the one where the girl cackles at the end that I was telling you about. So let's do it.
I like the cackles.
Bill Barr stopped Mueller from doing. And that's fascinating. Everybody would like to hear that from Robert Mueller as well as from Bill Barr. But at this point, it's only Bill Barr who is speaking on Mueller's behalf. Robert Mueller is still, at this point, publicly silent, as he has been from the very beginning. Although we'll have more on that in a moment.
I'll bet you'll have more on that, Rachel. Now, Luke, and listen, I know you're basking, and I've had my fun. I'm no fan of Rachel Maddow.
People should feel sad, too.
I don't know about that. I do think there's another group of people that I hope that this brings them back to reality. Listen, all of you people that were invested in Vladimir Putin literally taking his iron Russian grip on our election system and crushing democracy, and out came Donald Trump. Now that you know that is a falsehood, come back to reality.
Yeah.
Hold on. At the same notion, all of you morons out there that believed that Q had sent Robert Mueller in a secret James Bond-like style to get indictments on Hillary Clinton, John Podesta. You that believe that John McCain was given a secret trial and assassinated at Guantanamo Bay for treason because of Mueller's investigation. Listen, it's time to get off the meds, start jogging in the morning, and start having some discernment. All right? Make some goals in life. Stop being so gullible.
Jason, you're going to get me in trouble. I disavow.
Disavow all day.
Anyway, but again, you brought up an important point. There's crazy theories out there, but again, let's bring it back home here. The biggest conspiracy theorist was the people purporting this lie based on no evidence, knowingly for a bigger political agenda for power, and they did this and they lied to you for themselves. Rachel Maddow, all the other establishment, all the other politicians should be ashamed. They should have their nose rubbed in all of this bullcrap. Some people are feeling sad for them because I don't know if this is a symptom of mental disorder, but this is absolutely insane. And again, this is a huge disservice, not only against the right-wingers and the Donald Trumps and the conservatives. This is a huge disservice against any legitimate criticism against Donald Trump, which couldn't be talked about, which was silenced because of your absolute lunacy. And again, people weren't taking any criticism of him seriously because you guys were so stupid. But again, you guys were so stupid. The actual things that he should be held accountable for, he will never be because of your ass hattery. So that's my take on it. Jason, cut me off if you want if you have something else to say. But on that note, holy cow! Thank you for being a part of independent media. Thank you. We're finally being proven right. Finally, the mainstream media has been exposed for what it is. just a pack of liars, and that wouldn't be possible without you guys supporting us, donating to us on wearechange.org/donate. And that's why I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.